If you're a fan of the channel, you know I do a series where you guys send me your CK3 save files, which have been ravaged by war, debt, well, mostly a lot of wars. I play through these games with the goal of stabilizing your realm before sending it back to you so you can mess it up all over again. Never have I had a disaster save where after hours of gameplay, I found myself in a worse position than when I started. This is that story. Okay everybody, so here we are in the game file, and the first thing you should notice is that we are in 1,235 gold worth of debt right now. The second thing you should notice is that we are currently in a war, which is a dissolution war, meaning that if we were to lose this, our beautiful Britannian Empire title would get destroyed and we would lose a lot of vassals. We would pretty much lose any vassal that is not part of this England kingdom. So if I click on this war, you can see we actually have a total of 8,300 troops, and our vassals who are trying to take us down have almost 14k. If you're a fan of the channel, you would know I've come back from war scores a lot worse than this actually. But the problem with a situation like this is the 1,200 gold debt that we have is going to give us a 50% debuff in all the damage we do with our army. And I'll show that off when we're in a battle in the future. However, one thing that we have going for us is we currently aren't married and one of our sons is not married, which means we can go ahead and find a spouse. And of course, I'm going to sort for alliance power and pick whoever will give me the most power. Unfortunately, the area that is going to be able to get us the most men right now does come at the cost of me marrying a 2-year-old. And the reason that's not good is because if we marry a 2-year-old, we won't have a spouse for 14 years. And spouses are important because you can set them on different stats in order to increase your own player stats. And right now I would have loved to be able to put our spouse on the military training to increase our martial ability, which you can see would increase our levy size and levy reinforcement rate, which are two really important things. At least one thing we can do is switch off of a learning lifestyle, which is definitely not helping us at all right now. And I'm going to go ahead and actually switch for... Okay, wait, let's think about this for a second. I could switch to a strategy focus, which would give us +3 martial ability, which would help our levy size and reinforcement rate. Or I could switch to the authority focus, which would in turn give us 1 martial ability, but 0.3 control per month. So I'm going to have a look around at some of the counties we hold, and you can see all of these counties are at really low control. And having low control is going to affect how much gold and taxes we're getting. You can see having a county at 50 control, which is half, is going to cut the amount of levies we can have by 1/4 and the total amount of taxes by 50%. So for that reason, I'm actually going to go ahead and switch over to an authority focus just to get that little bit more control. And then getting martial experience per month will help us because we can pick up some things like sappers, as well as the strategist perk, which is just a really good perk for being at war. So I had mentioned we had another son here, and I'm going to go ahead and search for alliance power again, and instead set him up with this Bavarian king, who's going to net us another pretty healthy alliance of about 2,500 men. Because it's going to take some time for those alliances to get set up, and for their troops to sail over here when I call them into the war, what I'm going to do in the meantime is run down here in the south and start capturing some land from our enemies. Otherwise, I would just be waiting around anyway for our allies to come in.
Meanwhile,
my lord, is that legal?
I will make it legal.
So I was having a look in our court, and you can see we do have tier 2 set for all of the amenities, and that's costing us 2.36 gold per month. I'm just going to swap those all for tier 1 because honestly we're in a huge war right now. We don't have money to spend on services like that. Another thing I'm going to do is while I am capturing this county down here, I'm actually going to split my army into my army that has the onagers and my army that has the men-at-arms, because with my onager army I can continue to capture, and my men-at-arms army I can run up and kill some of these other armies that are in the north part of this war. And these armies over here are a lot weaker. You can see they only have like 1,500 plus another 600 over here. So if I'm able to get some kills on those guys, it will help my war score, which you can see we actually brought up to only -27 because we captured this land here, but also because we have battles won here contributing as well. Another thing I'm going to be very careful about is regenning our supplies. You can see I moved both our armies over here on these tiles, which have a supply limit higher than the army that's standing there. And what that's going to allow me to do is get this supply over 60, which is what you need to not have this undersupplied penalty, which actually affects the amount of damage you're going to do in battles. So I don't like how this army over here is coming to attack our allies. I'm gonna have to run our troops there, even though the rest of their armies are coming as well. Oh boy. This probably isn't gonna end well for me. Oh my goodness. That is a massive victory right there. What this did is, you can see it scattered all of these armies, which are now going to be heading in different directions. So what we need to do is just grab our armies and bully all of the smaller armies that exist.
I've come for your pickle.
So just like that, you can see we brought their military all the way down to 7,000 men, and we still have them on the run and their armies separated. Oh, it looks like our character will be dead within the year. That's okay, because all of our land should go to one of our sons.
Run away! Run away!
Over here, we're chasing this army to the tip of Wales, where we should be able to get a nice attack on them with our allies, which leads to more kills in our favor. And you can actually see we brought our war score up to positive right now. Let's go. Right there, you can see I'm just getting more and more kills on these weaker armies, and a lot of them are getting stack wiped because it's like 1,000 men coming up against 10k, so that's very big in our favor. Yeah, and honestly, seeing that we have 10,000 troops against 6,000, I think what I'm going to do now is just run over to London, capture our capital back, which will reverse this whole -47 into our favor. I will also use this time to replenish some of our supplies over here on our second army. Okay, we died. Not a huge deal, remember. It looks like we're running a murder scheme on our brother. I guess to get Ireland, because we're probably his heir. Yeah, we are his heir. Do I want to continue this? I don't really care, honestly. I think I'll let my brother keep Ireland. I don't really need it.
Then your actions have consequences.
You can see we have a lot of land over here. Boom, and we just flipped our capital back, which means we got rid of that -57, and now our war score is actually 74 in our favor. Oh, I didn't even realize this, but our son must have had a ton of money, because look at this, we're actually not in debt anymore. We are losing 9 gold per month, which means we probably will be in debt soon enough. Oh crap, and look, we actually have a military faction with our brother here. I should have left that murder scheme, because this is going to just create another huge faction right after this. I'm putting our marshal on increasing the control in our capital, because this is where we're going to make most of our gold. You can see we have some amazing gold buildings in the capital built already. So if we can get that up to 100 control, that would be pretty massive. We should also try and stop them from taking more of our land, because we need this land in order to increase our gold income. Boom, and just like that, guys, look, we hit 100% in this dissolution, where we can enforce our demands, getting a ton of our vassals in jail right now, disband all our armies, and look at that, we brought our gold income all the way up to almost 10 per month. We are married to an individual right now. The only problem is she sucks at stewardship, and we can't divorce her. We can, however, murder her. I think I will go ahead and murder our wife, just because if we can get another wife with high stewardship, we'll be able to put her on managed domain, increase our domain limit, and then we'll be able to hold all of our domains without penalties. Because right now you can see, oh, you can't see this, but in the next month we would actually be getting a 40% penalty to our gold income and troops from holding too many domains. Already, here we go. We have another war coming at us, and this one is going to be tough again, because they have 8,000 men and we only have 2,800 right now, because our army is still pretty ravaged from that last war. At least the only thing we have going for us is we're not currently in debt, which is pretty good. And yeah, that's pretty much everything. Getting control up in all these places will be so important for us. However, the problem is, you can see we have this lackluster administration debuff in pretty much every single one of our counties, because of the because we were in debt for so long. We pretty much get that debuff almost everywhere. But oh man, should I have not canceled that murder scheme against my brother. This is not looking good. One thing we can do at least is move a rally point over here, raise all our army, and try to catch some of these armies while they're separated.
Gotcha, bitch!
Just like that, so you can see we got a pretty good victory there. Okay, so I successfully killed our wife, and I was gonna marry somebody to get more stewardship, to hold more domains, but I ended up just granting another domain away, and instead I think I'm gonna have to go for alliance power, and I guess I could just set up another alliance with Burgundy again. They helped our previous character out quite a lot in the war, so let's see if they can do it again. And you can see that brings our military strength almost on par with our enemies here.
You've got mail.
Oh, what? Okay, so we got excommunicated. Oh man, look at this. We now have some Norsemen attacking us for north of Ireland here, and it's like 9,000 them in two, which is absolutely brutal. So actually, it looks like this character is in a lot of debt right now, and if we were to attack them, you can see they actually have the owners in 4 years debt debuff, so I think we should be able to win, even if they bring all these other armies in. Wow, look at that damage modifier. This is crazy. So look, the 4 years debt is now reducing their damage by 50%. You can see all in all, we're getting a 78% increase of damage in our favor. And that's really why we're winning this battle, even though we had a lot less men than them going into it. And the fact that they're coming off a boat is even helping me more. As you can see, they get a 30 penalty in the advantage modifier, which is a 60% decrease on their damage for attacking me off of a boat. So they're pretty much throwing their men's lives away. We've already reduced their army to only 2,000 men. So again, this war is pretty much won. Okay, I'm at 97%. So once I take this last piece of land, that should bump us up to 100. And then we might actually be able to fight the Norse. No, look at this. So the Norse are at 92. But at least we have won the war with our brother. Okay, actually, I think we will be able to stop the Norsemen. So I raised both. I raised some more troops. So now you can see we have almost 5,000 men. So we should actually be able to kill them very easily. Just like that. And now we actually won the war with the Norse as well. We now have 28 prisoners, a lot of them being our vassals. So I think it's about time we redistribute some of our land. Or actually, I was going to say I would love to redistribute our land, but it's not possible because we do need to finish researching plenary assemblies before we can do that, because this is what you need to raise your crown authority to tier 2, as you can see. And the only way you can revoke titles is if you have tier 2 crown authority. It will take only 8 years to do that. However, I feel like a lot of these guys will either die or break out of our prison in that time. So it might honestly be worth it just to mass ransom these people. The problem with that is a lot of these people hate me. Yeah, being excommunicated doesn't help. But honestly, I think if we have all the gold, I think we'll be okay. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to mass ransom 30 characters. Let's see how much gold this is going to get us.
Gold.
Oh man, look at that, guys. Now this does mean we have a lot of angry vassals, as you can see, including our brother. But with this money, we should be able to upgrade our military, which is honestly really lackluster. You can see, I think when we started, you only had these bowmen, these light footmen, and onagers. Bowmen are like a good cost for damage option, but light footmen are honestly awful. I don't use these guys ever just because they're so weak. Instead, what I'm going to do is pick up some armored footmen, which are like a million times better. They are more expensive, but they're so worth it if you compare their damage and toughness to that of a light footman. You can see these guys only have 10 and 16. Your basic levy has 10 and 10. So having light footmen is pretty much like having a slightly beefier levy that costs money. So essentially useless. I'm actually going to pick up a full stack of them because I think that's going to really help us here. And the rest of it I think is okay for now. Since we finished those wars, I can now spend some time looking at the land you're holding and kind of seeing if there's any way we can do this a little bit better. The maximum amount of duchies you can hold is 2. And right now you are holding 2 duchies. However, this one in the north that you're holding, you don't have any counties in it, so it's not helping you at all. And then this one in the south is pretty helpful for you because you do have at least some counties here. But really what you should be doing is holding Essex, which isn't created yet. So we could always go ahead and create that when we get the chance. But right now that's not really possible. I think I'm just going to grant away Ipswich over here because because it doesn't have any buildings built in it, so it's not really making that much money anyway. And this way we will stay just at our limit over here. As for some of these other prisoners who don't have any money, what I'm going to do is just negotiate their release and recruit them. Just because some of them will be good knights in our armies. You can see like a few of them have like 10 prowess. Other ones might have good stats, like this guy has 16 intrigue. So because I do eventually want to just hold Essex, and I think what I've decided to do is hold this duchy over here. The reason I'm laughing is because I had a pop-up in our court and I wasn't really reading it, and I just clicked one of the options and I ended up granting away Portsmouth away to just this random character over here. So that kind of made the decision of if I wanted to keep Wessex or
Witcher.
So I guess we'll be keeping
Witcher.
which is okay because we do have 2 counties here, and we did have 2 counties in Wessex anyway. In order to keep our domains at the limit, I'm going to go ahead and construct another castle in the capital of London. And the good thing about these 2 empty barony slots here is they're both in these farmlands territories, which means we can build both these manor houses buildings, these hamlets, and actually these regimental clearing buildings in all of those baronies. And that's like a super powerful combination. These 2 buildings give you a ridiculous amount of gold. You can see we're making 5 gold per month from this region. And then this building here gives you a ton of levies. Having 3 castles in farmlands is going to be just really, really powerful for us here. Also, you can see our military strength is all the way up to 6,200 now. So what I'm going to do is break off this betrothal with this Burgundy queen, who we pretty much used for both of those wars we were in. And now we're just going to break the alliance with her, kind of stab her in the back. And instead, we're going to look for a nice marriage, maybe based off inheritable traits, because who doesn't like having a bunch of super strong and intelligent and beautiful offsprings? I'll try to see if there's somebody we can find with high stewardship as well as an inheritable trait. Ooh, look, so this person's perfect actually. They don't lose us prestige, they have intelligent, and they're probably gonna have decent stewardship. So and they actually get us an alliance. It's a really weak alliance, but you know, better than nothing. So we'll set a marriage off for her. We have to wait 2 years until she's old enough for us to use her in our court, but that's okay with me. And in the meantime, I guess what I'll do is actually put our steward on increasing development in our capital, because you can see it's pretty weak right now. And the higher development you have in a county, the more gold you'll make from it. I'm also going to be switching off of Marshall because we're not in war anymore. And instead I'm going to be going for a domain focus. And I'll probably be picking up a lot of these nice perks in the architect tree in order to reduce the cost of our buildings and also help our development go up faster. Here you can just see we finished 3 of our barracks in these lands. And if we take a look at our military strength, you can now see our armored footmen are getting a 12% bonus to their damage from those buildings, as well as our pikemen. Okay, so our wife just turned 16, so now we can actually put her on a specific focus, and you can see that she'll be getting a lot of skill points in whichever field we want. And I'm just going to go ahead and go for stewardship because it's going to raise our tax. You can see that actually brought our gold income up to 17 and our domains to 10. So that just means that I can build another castle in this in my capital county when we have enough gold. Oh man, what the heck? So my nice wife with intelligence just ended up dying. I guess we can just set up a marriage with this 13-year-old who actually has the genius trait. She's a bastard, so we did lose a decent amount of fame for marrying her. Oh. And we have a northern army coming to attack us. Oh, so this is awesome actually. This glass monument building, as we win the war with the Norsemen, is an amazing decision you can get while you're playing as a lunatic character. Let me see if I can find it here. So we need to get 420 gold, but what we can do is build this glass monument building in our capital, and it is a great building for gold income. So I'm definitely going to save up all my gold in order to do that. Oh man, what is this? Now we have another war being declared on us, but this time with 10,000 men. It looks like the Scottish are attacking us. How do they have 10,000 men? Who are they allied to? Oh boy. Well, that is definitely not good news. At least we can do the glass monument decision, which does use all our gold, but you can see it gets us this beautiful building that gets us 1 tax per month, 25% development growth bonus, as well as a +1 prestige per month and a small boost to our health. It's just all around a great building to have. We now have 19 gold per month as our gold income. A ton of kills in that battle. We actually killed double the men that we lost. I split my army into one force, which is just going to be used to capture land, and then another force, which is going to be used to fight off some of these invaders. Oh man, we're actually going to lose this battle. That's kind of shocking. So even though we lost this battle, as you can see, we still killed more men than we lost. So really, it's not that bad. It would be bad, however, if they were able to capture this army. Over here, which it looks like they were. You know, not everything's gonna go your way. At least now I can just consolidate my army and kind of regroup a little bit before going back and attacking them again. You can see their whole army is pretty weak. They only have 3,300 men, while I have around 4,500, so we really won't have any problem attacking them here. So now I should just be able to run into their capital, capture it, and hopefully win the war. Okay, there we go. 100% in that war. Okay, I just earned enough money to make our third castle in our capital. It'll take only 2 years to make, and the other castle had finished a while ago, so whenever we get enough money, I'm going to start building the farms and fields, the manor houses, and the what's it called? The regimental grounds.
You've got mail.
Oh my goodness, look at that. So we died under mysterious circumstances. That's brutal. At least we did have a son right before it happened, and they are intelligent, which is pretty good. Bad news about this is I feel like factions are going to rise up against us because we're a little baby. Oh man, and literally on cue, we have a dissolution faction rising up against us. You do not love to see it. I guess one thing we could do is try to arrange a marriage with this guy, with us, and you can see what that'll do is actually kick him out of the faction. Yikes. And then we also have this faction over here to install our uncle on the throne instead of us. Oh my goodness, another northern army also. Can you guys just leave me alone?
I did you, baby!
I don't want to fight you right now. Okay, I beat the Norsemen, but the problem is we got the Scottish now declaring war on us. This game really does take advantage of you when you're a 1-year-old child trying to rule an empire. Okay, so here we go. We have the faction coming against us. They're gonna be pretty strong. Oh my god, man. 15,000 men. Are you kidding me? Oh my god, this is absolute just BS. Like, I'm literally in a worse place than the beginning of this game. I just created like a worse disaster than this guy sent me. I'm literally a 1-year-old losing money, coming up against 16,000 men with 3.5k. Like, there's literally nothing I can do. I can win this shitty war against the Scottish idiots attacking me. I can't believe this. I actually cannot believe it. Like, I don't even know what to do. I can break up with this character, find a new one based on alliance power, and what? What is this now? Now the Dissolution faction is gonna go, it's gonna pass over here. Another 6,000 men. Are you kidding me, dude? Fuck off. Fuck you. Okay, so I'm with my French allies over here, and I think if we attack this guy's army...
Why are you running?
If they can fucking run here, man. So if we attack this guy's army, which is all the Dissolution faction members here, we can at least get a decent amount of kills on the Dissolution faction itself. Maybe take back London and kind of swing that war in our favor at least. So yeah, I could white piece the Dissolution faction, which actually might be the play. Oh man, we still have half as many troops as the whatever the fuck this one is called. Okay, we won the Dissolution faction. We're at a big disadvantage in the next war, however, and we are now in a shit ton of debt. How are we in so much debt? Like, I'm recruiting a bunch of people from our prison right now just because our army isn't very strong, I'm not gonna lie. So getting some more knights with at least 10 prowess will help us here for sure. Look at that, we just actually buffed our military by a shit ton right now.
Hello there.
We have to make sure to raise these guys and make sure they're in our army. You can see we have 8 knights over here now, at least. Crap, I don't like how this army is coming closer to me right now. Okay, I'm trying to run, but I don't know if it's gonna work. If we can get across this river and defend on this tile right here, we might actually have a chance. Come on, French allies, please. Oh my goodness, we might have done it. Okay, I think we actually scared them away because we're standing on this side of the river, so they don't want to attack us. That is potentially huge. I think also I'm just going to end up ransoming all these vassals away because they're going to start escaping, and I need to get out of debt right now just so we don't have more debuffs into our, in terms of our military strength.
Cheers, love! The cavalry's
Oh, and
here.
look at this, our other ally came in. We ended up marrying our mother away to somebody just to get another alliance in. So now we actually have all 12,600 of our men here. We could cross the river and try to attack them on this tile. It's crazy. It's definitely a crazy idea, but it's going to take time for all these guys to run in, and all of our army is kind of consolidated on this tile. So if we're going to have a chance, it's going to be right now. Oh my goodness, this is absolutely mental. Okay, it's actually good. Oh my god, it's actually good. Let's freaking go. Look at those. Look at that damage. Oh my god, how have I turned this around? No way. Okay, we pretty much have won this war essentially right now. Like, it's pretty much over. But we just have to make sure that they don't come back. So let's chase their armies down. Oh my god. More Norsemen attacking us. We're still killing a lot of men, which is really good. Yeah, look at that. They have 5k only. Let's go. Okay, guys, I could actually white piece them here, but I'm pretty sure they're on the ropes. They're invading France for some reason. They're just lost completely. So I'm just going to keep taking land from them. We are in debt, but we'll get out of debt once the war's over. I'm not too worried about it. Okay, I moved into France just so we can have a nice final battle over here. Maybe not a final battle, but look at that. Way more kills. 97%. Let's catch this last army. Oh, is this a joke? Can we just fucking kill these guys? There you go, 100%. Oh my goodness, enforce our demands. Okay, so I let my army just replenish a little bit, and now I'm actually strong enough, I think, to beat all these Norsemen who are invading me. So we'll attack them there. Hit 100%, very nice, enforce our demands, and we have won all of those wars. Let's freaking go, guys. We are in a war with the French here against these Vikings, but, you know, I don't really care about that. They can have as much fun as they want fighting in there. I will not be helping. I need to consolidate my armies a little bit. Do a lot. There's a lot of stuff I gotta do, essentially. The good thing about this whole situation is I would like to control this whole duchy of over here. And at least we have some vassals who are in prison. So what I can do is raise my crown authority, revoke this title from that guy. Man, our control is so low in all these counties. If we were able to get the control up in these areas, we would have so much military strength right now. It would be crazy. Again, I'm going to try to hold. I'm going to create Essex when I can, and I'm going to create when I can, because those are the two duchies where I want to hold all my titles in order to keep my vassals happy. Honestly, I think what I'm going to do with the rest of my vassals, because if we take a look at all my strong vassals here, you can see none of them are in jail. The ones who are in jail are the weaker ones, like these with like 600 or 700 men. So I'm just going to go ahead and mass ransom all these guys just to help get us out of debt a little bit faster. And then when our military finishes replenishing here, we will turn our gold into a big, big positive. Okay, so I just hit 16, which is very nice. I've picked up the Thrifty Clerk education trait, which actually brings our stewardship up to 17. Let's see if I can put my wife on managed domain to bring our domains up to 9 of 9, which will increase our monthly income to 14.4 right now. I'm going to go down Marshall with authority focus. I'm going to first pick up serve the crown because we still have very, very low control in all of our domains, as you can see from here. But already you can see our troops are going to replenish to over 7,000, and that's going to increase. Our gold income also is going to increase the more control we get, and then we will actually be very, very, very powerful. Oh, what the heck just happened? I became blind. Okay, I got enough perk points to pick up Serve the Crown, so I'm going to switch over to Stewardship now. Or I guess I'm not, because I need to wait a little bit longer. So I guess in 3 years, I'll switch over to Stewardship, which will get me 9 of 9 domains at least. We do have a Liberty faction, which looks like it wants to pass. Do I need to have Crown Authority? I don't need to have tier 2 Crown Authority, so I'm just going to drop that to get rid of that Liberty faction. And now everything should be completely fine. With my next 300 gold, I'm going to create the second duchy with all these counties that I'm holding. Another Viking army. Well, at least we're at like full strength right now, so it shouldn't be very hard for us to defeat them.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Look at this, our stupid uncle is trying to assert himself on the throne again. I think it's about time we just run a murder scheme and put an end to him once and for all. Like, he doesn't have enough strength to overcome us just because we have just because we're getting almost full control in all of our lands. So that's really helping our military. But I'm just sick of this guy. Honestly, I just want to kill him at this point. Okay, here we go. 95% chance he should be killed. And he is. There you go. I think honestly that is the perfect place to end it. We have no factions. We have a ton of gold income, 25 right now, a bunch of beautiful counties, not even with full control yet, but they're all on their way to full control. I think there's only these two that aren't there. Once they are at full control, it'll probably bring our military strength up to 10,000 men, tons of money, and a completely stabilized realm. If that's not a save game, then I don't know what is. I hope you guys really enjoyed this save game. Remember, you can always send me your disastrous games to zieleysubmissions@gmail.com. I honestly didn't think this one would be that hard, but it ended up being ridiculously tough, especially when we were playing as the newborn child and had to fight off an army of 16,000 men. But I'm happy I was able to do it. I'm happy you guys were able to watch it with me. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.